All right, good day everyone, it's Sylvain here. Welcome again to another video. Today I'm with Frank Servadio and Ans Lumen from the Polis team. And then great stuff is happening in the Polis ecosystem, great changes coming up soon. And then I wanted to bring them over to discuss really those upcoming changes. So first, I'd like to know a bit more about, you probably want to know a bit more about Frank and Ans. I'll let them introduce themselves and mention their role within the organization.
Thanks, Sylvain. Thank you very much for doing this. We're excited to talk about Olympus and Polis, and we really appreciate you reaching out to, to do this interview. We're extremely excited. A little bit of my role is I'm the one of the DAO managers, one of the 5 DAO managers, and for merchant adoption, consumer adoption, which I really think is extremely important. And we're heavily working on the project to, how we're going to enhance the merchants and how we're going to enhance and more adoptions, et cetera. Because, in the crypto space, what really lacks is a utility coin full circle from merchants to consumers and an eco space that where people could use the coins. And really, ultimately, you need the end users. And you can have all the best crypto projects in the world, but if you don't have the end users and the full project from start to finish, from using it at a retailer, if you will, and a use case is extremely important to this. So we have so much that we want to do. So my biggest role is to give inputs into the DAO as we move forward, and also merchant adoptions and consumer adoptions.
Sounds great. Yeah, great roles and much needed in the ecosystem for sure. If you want to have a great project that's going to go from the ground up and then hopefully reach mass adoption at some point. What about you, Hans?
Yeah, thank you for having us here, Sylvain. I'm Hans Lohman. People that know Polis Discord know me there as one of the support guys. I'm trying to help everybody out with whatever questions they might have. On the technical side, I'm assisting the Polis developers team as a role of quality assurance manager. I'm going through a lot of the code and try to find bugs before they might actually just sort of stop any new developments from happening. So there's a lot happening right now. We're having a lot of projects in the pipeline. It's a very exciting time. And if we're going to talk a little technical, then stay tuned for good stuff to come.
Thanks, Hans, and thanks for you as well for accepting the invitation on the channel. One of my first questions would be, so you're putting a new protocol. So what is Olympus?
Yeah, let me answer that. Olympus is a new type of blockchain. It's based on proof of stake, but with a completely new code base. So as you know, many coins are basically forks of other projects. Most of the Masternode coins are somehow a fork of Dash or a fork of something that forked off of Dash, and with their own sorts of flavors added to it, be it, for instance, proof of stake, partly proof of work, or all sorts of other little things they change to it. Well, we're now setting on for a completely new development. We have developed a new code base that we hope to set a standard. That is one that's using the Casper consensus algorithm. That is the same sort of thing that's now also being implemented in ETH 2.0. So the code base is completely based on Go language. So that's I'd say, somewhat newer version of the C type of environment that most of the blockchain projects are built on. And right now we have developed from scratch code base, if you will. And because of that, we're also getting that audited now by a third party to see if there's any vulnerabilities that we haven't found ourselves yet.
Right on, great explanation. So if I understand properly, this code is not used by any other project in the moment, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so it makes it unique. And yes, we've seen a lot of, for people watching, and if you're just getting started in crypto, a lot of projects derive from Dash and also forks, the idea to enter the Masternodes. But I think now Polis is moving kind of away from that. And I think it's probably a good move overall. besides that, like are there major changes, wallets and stuff like that to be seen with Olympus?
Yeah, so if we move to Olympus, there is going to be quite some changes. First of all, we're stepping away from the Masternode system. The Masternode system right now is a system that basically uses a collateral of 1,000 coins that get locked, and for that you get rewards. This is going to be changed. We're changing that into so-called validators that have an active role in protecting the network. The validators more or less use this Casper consensus type of voting system to protect the network from bad actors. For running a validator, you will need 100 polis. So one masternode will be same as like 10 validators on the new network. One of the exciting things that the Olympus network is also going to offer us is the implementation of Solidity type of Ethereum-like smart contracts. So this means that we can start running all sorts of cool smart contracts, but opposite to, for instance, the Ethereum system, we will have a separate bandwidth for smart contracts and for transactions. So if somehow somebody develops a Polis CryptoKitty contract, if you will, they can invest the smart contract part of the blockchain without that having any effect on the transaction part of the blockchain. So there's a neat little thing there.
I'd like to
Yes,
add,
exactly. I didn't know about that. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
I'd like to add a little bit there. With the validators only being 100, we really believe we will attract, and that's where I come in with the adoption of more consumers, more small-time investors, and also merchants, because the validators are only 100 coins compared to 1,000 coins. Sure, at our price point right now, that might not mean a lot, but down the road, as the price rises, you want those validators, and now you don't have to wait to get 1,000 coins to get rewards. You could do that with 100 validators, which is awesome, I think. So the entry point are for the little guys, if you will, the big guys, and it also spreads out the chain and spreads out the network, which makes it more secure. So I'm extremely excited that, because I think we'll be able to adopt more folks, and also with the adoption of the smart contracts, we'll attract all sorts of different folks wanting to be involved with whatever projects they want to put on the smart contract, because it's runs separately through our system. So really exciting times for people that want to get in. And of course, compared to the higher prices for Masternodes, compared to other coins that are out there, it's really very reasonable to get into our project.
Yes, sounds great. Thanks for clarifying that. And so we're moving away from 1,000 to 100 for validators. For people that used to be with Polis for, let's say, the passive income, that sort of thing, generated from Masternodes, are they looking to get the same? Is that going to be similar for people running validators as well, or is it going to be a bit different?
Yes, that is going to be the same. So there will be actually almost no change to the reward structure. In the past, we had a certain split between staking and masternodes that is now going to be all replaced by only validators. The one change that's going to change is that the validators will get 80% of the block rewards, and there's going to be 20% reserved for community projects, treasury, and DAO funding. So together with I'd say limited market cap that we have what we call fifthening happening pretty much every year. So we're going to really slowly but surely towards our maximum of 25 million coins. We will be a smart contract able coin that has a closed market cap of a limited amount. So that is going to be good for the future when people set up validators as a return on investment type of investing.
Okay, good. And people, they used to go, we like to go the safest way, especially when we keep our crypto, the private keys. It used to be kept on the Trezor, was the main tool that you were recommending. And obviously it's a great tool used by a lot of people for multiple cryptocurrencies. Are we going to be able to maintain the validators on the Trezor, or are we looking at different wallets?
Yeah, so because of the fact that we're switching to a different type of signature, we're switching to a BLS signatures version. Trezor is still in beta, so they are working on getting these libraries in production version. The moment that that's the case, then we will also switch, of course, have Trezor support next to Ledger support, but Ledger will be the first focus.
Okay, good. So we're yeah, exactly with Ledger. I think we're looking at a wallet that's proven as well. Looking, I have it myself. I've had both the Trezor and Ledger as well, so both are good to use, and it's definitely something if you're gonna keep a lot of Polis or any crypto. Highly recommended to keep your private keys offline. Obviously, so it's great idea about doing that. And now, so masternodes, for people having masternodes, how are we gonna do the transition between, let's say, moving from masternodes? Let's say you've got coins and masternodes, and then now you want to switch over. How is that going to work process wise?
So there's going to be a migration tool that allows you to move any type of coins, be it in staking wallets or be it in collateral for masternodes, in Trezor wallets. You can move those over to the new chain via a migration tool, and there will be no time limit for you to do so. So there's not going to be a time that you have to do it before, because then people that are too late might actually just sort of lose out. We don't believe in people losing out. So the more info on that tool will be available once we really start to get closer towards the launching of the mainnet of the Olympus chain.
Okay, good. And if I'm correct, I think the testnet just opened this week or something, right?
That's right. Actually, just yesterday. And yeah, I'm quite glad that it went really smooth. Being in support department, the biggest nightmare, of course, is if you get a completely new system and people don't understand how it goes. But I don't want to jinx it, so knock on wood. But it's looking very good.
Yeah. All right. On the business side, Frank, are there any other projects brewing at the moment? So we understand a lot of technical stuff, a lot of migration will be happening soon. Anything when it comes to, let's say, the gift cards, a Polispay wallet, any development in that regards?
Absolutely. Actually, we have merchants, just approximately 50 merchants waiting to kickstart the whole application, which is exciting. And I really believe there's going to be more after that. And there's actual groups that have approached us that want to get involved. But a lot's got to stem on the Olympus Marine rolled out, and then all those other things will roll into place. And so we're constantly working with different groups, different folks that want to come on board, different merchants that want to come on board. So once we see the infrastructure, and then we're going to have places where merchants are going to be showcased on the websites, who takes it, a mapping system. So there's a lot of things that's going to help for adoptions. And basically, right now it's the time is just prime for digital currency. If you really go into the news, everybody talks about digital, and we really want to be at the have the world's best actual ecosystem, and we really believe that we can deliver that. And what we're going to do is, starting with 50 merchants in Canada, we're going to focus on North America, and then we'll start reaching out to Latin America and Europe, etc. And it's just going to roll out from there. And I really believe we're going to start in Canada, my own backyard, kickstart it, just getting all the kinks out of the way. We have a POS system that Hans is working on that's cutting edge. We've done this before, and we're extremely excited about rolling this out to all sorts of different businesses, and it's just going to snowball from there.
Good. Can you mention some of the Canadian ones coming up, or is it still
Yeah, I could.
under approval?
I can't name them yet until we put them up in that, but I could just tell you some of the different. I actually have contractors, I have beauty salons, I have veterinarians, I have cleaning, I have a lot of pretty much restaurants. I pretty much got every category. I got a dry cleaners, pretty much everything covered. And what we're trying to do is get something in every sector to show the public. And believe me, the public is really ripe for this, and they're open to this right now, especially with the cashless society. It's just moving right into our space. So we're extremely excited with the Olympus Protocol, the tools that we're going to provide, the POS system, etc. We really believe that the merchants are really going to gravitate to it, and we're really excited to showcase them. In the older days, people take credit cards because everybody's got credit cards, right? And a lot of merchants don't like it, but they love being able to take cryptocurrency when there's no fees to them. And right now there's so much off ramp that we're going to be able to get people, the merchants, to be able to convert their actual currency into fiat if they want, or into another currency. And we're going to have that all built right in within our app. So we're really excited about it, so that merchants will have all sorts of options to move forward and move their fiat. So, and plus we'll have all the accounting system for them as far as where the transaction came from, etc. So it's really moved along, come a long ways from where it was in the past.
Great. Now looking at Canada again and merchants, are there any point of sales accepting Polis at the moment, or not yet?
We've actually held that off because we've actually had merchants saying yes, but we've held it off till we didn't want to get them started because it's a learning curve. We didn't want to get them started with Polis, then we're going to switch them to Olympus. So we want to wait, and the POS system's been waiting. The POS system has been ready for a long time. Hans could add to that if he likes. We had a mapping system in place for a long time. We're just waiting for Olympus and then start rolling out the merchants. And that's going to happen basically right away. Like I said, I have approximately 50 merchants ready to go. And then once that happens, they're going to talk to other merchants. And once they see how easy it is, it's just a starting point. You need to start somewhere and then roll a guide. So once we've done it, and then we could actually do a total step-by-step how to get involved, what to do, where to register. We'll make it very simple, how to register and where you start seeing it. And, merchants, when they start knowing that there's a community of folks that use Polis in their community, and you tell them that, hey, look, if you want to be the first dry cleaners in, I got a community of Polis folks that are dying to use their actual Polis. And guess what? The fees are going to be, zero for you, and we're going to be able to use it. And you can move it into another crypto if you like. And if you don't like crypto and you want to move it into a gift card or move it into your bank account, you're going to be able to do that. They're going to be absolutely open to it these days because of what's going on around the world right now.
Yes, great points from your point of view. So, point of sales, the way it works, Hans, can you talk a little bit about that? Is it only like a Polis point of sale, a machine? Does it look like a cell phone, ATM? Like, how does that look like?
Yeah, we have actually developed a couple of systems. So one of them is a full terminal that runs basically an Android app. So then a standalone can print out little invoices, QR codes, and make it easy for people to pay. We make this all compatible with the Polispay app, and for that reason, we will probably be able to accept pretty much any currency that is supported, or coin that is supported in the Polispay app. So as you know, it's a multi-coin wallet. I do believe that it's always good to give people choices. And that is the one thing that we will keep continuing doing so. The merchants can set up automatic conversion systems so that they can, for instance, get a transaction in whatever coin it is that the Polispay app can automatically then convert into, for instance, a in-between currency that could be coupled to a Canadian dollar. So we're still developing these types of systems. There's more and more that you can connect. Nowadays, it's more or less like playing Legos with building blocks, which is a fantastic thing because I always love to use Legos, and now I can play with this stuff again, but then in a financial way. And yeah, that is very satisfying to see these things come to life.
Okay, so if I understand properly, then we're obviously you're waiting for the new protocol Olympus to be tested in order for all those changes and the merchants to onboard. Obviously, it makes sense because otherwise it'd be a lot of changes, a lot of things to change on the fly, and I think merchants might be frustrated about that. So now, given that, do you have any time frame when that's going to be ready, or it really depends on the testing and the auditing that you're currently doing?
Yes, of course. A lot of things depend on testing. So we have a audit going on right now by a third-party cybersecurity company. They are going to deliver us the first results in the last weeks of December. So that is actually going really quickly now. It will be there in about 2 weeks or so. Depending on what comes out of that stuff, also depending on what we find in the public testnet that we've just launched, we will, of course, fix any and all issues that come from it, but it means that we will be actually quite close towards launching mainnet right after that, and then the real fun starts. So I think the moment that we start to get actual launch dates for the mainnet, we will be able to start getting actual dates for rolling out merchant programs.
Great news. I think everyone's excited about that. I believe people can't wait to have it ready to go and move on to better things, other things, right? Keep growing the ecosystem. Now I've heard about tacos. I don't know. So I seen that in the social media. Saw a little taco. What's going on with this?
Yeah, this is a fantastic thing. And anybody that has been following decentralized finance might already sort of know what's going on. For some reason, there's been a food type of meme or theme that started to happen in these things. People may have heard of yam farming, sushi swaps, and what have you, all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, when we started to basically make a bridge towards this big decentralized finance development, we were looking at wrapped Polis. Well, the main headquarters of Polis, the devs, most of them are in Mexico, and they all love, well, wraps, burritos, you know? So I said, hey, why don't we call these things like burritos? But then Ricardo, which is now our taco chef, says, I like tacos better. So that is actually what created the Taco Polis. It's wrapped, but it's in taco form. And yeah, that way we're listing it on the various decentralized exchanges. So it's a pair that is connected to Ethereum in this case. You can provide liquidity, and there is a lot going on this, and it's actually a topic in itself, if you will, but it's a big thing because with decentralized finance, all of a sudden you can participate in liquidity pools that have no limitations in like being centralized, a place where there's a risk, for instance, of a lot of value being stored just in one entry. And here you have access to this all from a decentralized system. It's fantastic.
Yes, I've been following a bit of that. Now people are actually able now to move it over to the W Polis, so the wrapped Polis. Is that are they able now to transfer it back to the Polis as well, like to go back and forth at the moment, or is it limited?
That is coming. So the focus is first to get people to be able to get a W Polis so they can build liquidity pairs. Right now, any moment, the rewards are actually already being farmed right now. So the focus for the devs is now to get those rewards basically airdropped on all the liquidity providers. And we're all going to look what that looks like. I have some liquidity built up there. I'm just really anxious to see if the return on investment there might even be higher than Masternodes. Who knows? I don't know yet, but it's looking pretty good. And then right after that, of course, there will be the bridge back so that you can take that liquidity out and go back to Polis. You can already go, of course, into Ethereum right now. So all of those options are being built as we speak. It's looking very good.
Good, yeah, that's definitely something. At first I wasn't quite sure. I thought Polis was to become like a ERC20 token or something, but really that was just a different perspective. The Polis is staying with Olympus, and it's just an added tools. And then some coins have been doing that with the Uniswap. Obviously, a lot of money is into that. Obviously, Ethereum dominating with obviously Bitcoin, but it's certainly a big player in the ecosystem. So probably joining that is a good thing for the team and liquidity, right?
I could
Now,
just
go ahead.
Sylvain, yes. Part of the adoption in liquidity is really important thing in adding more pairs. The more pairs you have, the more you're going to get of people that are in this space, in the crypto space. We really like that we're going to be able to do smart contracts with Olympus and also do the DeFi with Olympus as well. So can you imagine people, you will be able to come into our project and we have a limited amount of coins in the supply chain, over the course of the coin of 25 million, right, in the supply chain. And we're going to be able to do all the smart contracts and the DeFi similar and exactly like with Ethereum. So I really believe there's going to be a whole lot of added value to everybody. So we're extremely excited about it. We're excited to bring folks that have Ethereum into the Polis community and vice versa, but we're also going to be able to do that with our own Olympus, and people could bring their own projects and their own coins. And instead of being all into the Ethereum, they could do the same thing with the Olympus, whatever they want to do as far as DeFi. And I really believe that's going to be a big part of the adoptions of merchants and of also consumers and investors. So we're extremely excited about working with that project. And we're really starting to see a lot of excitements in there. And just so you know, in our YouTube channel, Hans has done 3 great videos about security, how to do these things. So please, have your listeners go to the YouTube, the Polispay YouTube channel and the blockchain there, and you'll find those videos on how to do some of these things and get into the DeFi project.
Perfect. Sounds great. Yeah, I think I watched one of those videos. Well, I'll watch the other one at some point once I'm ready to switch some over and then give it a try. Which brings me to my other subject. If someone is, that's the first video they watch about Polis, where can they and they want to dig deeper into the project, where can they go to find more information? Where would that be best to go in order to get the information?
I'll get that. Best to go to the website, the Polispay website for sure, and polispay.org, polispay.com, and there's tools there and everything else. And also for the new beginners, that really want to just get in and just get their feet wet, they could also use InstaSwap. We now have InstaSwap where they could buy Polis, and also in InstaSwap you could actually swap a Bitcoin or Ethereum and other coins into Polis as well. So those are some baby steps, and I really, we just added that about 3 months ago, the InstaSwap, and it works very simple and for the novice folks to get involved and get into it. So I really recommend for those folks to utilize InstaSwap, and they can use credit cards, their banking information, and they can move and get some, Bitcoin, swap it there, or buy Polis and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of good things there. So that's one big channel. If you already have coins, then you could actually swap them very easily through InstaSwap as well.
Sounds great. Yeah. So I don't want to drag this interview too long. There be any final words from Hans and Frank on just before we close the video here, just to talk to the community about what you think for the upcoming months?
Well, I'll start and then I'll let Hans finish it off and put the bow on it. Sorry, Hans. So first of all, to the community and to your listeners and for the folks that are in the crypto space, what I want to leave with them is that, and what I want them to know that Polis and Olympus Protocol is trying to do is have a standalone chain to make things very easy with smart contracts and an ecosystem and a use case that is a utility coin for the end users. We have gift cards. We're in 60 countries. Over 500 merchants already. We plan on going to every country in the globe, pretty much 160 countries in a short period of time. We got a great partnership with Bitku, just done a great job of the gift cards. We have gift cards in the UK right now, coming to Canada, then in the US next, and just continuing to expand from that. And when you start thinking about that, we're trying to keep it a one-stop shop. And a lot of coins have actually joined and became partners with us so that they could bring their coins in there. They're starting to see that we have the DeFi. They're starting to see that we have gift cards that you can exchange back and forth. And I want to just leave with everybody, our gift cards is only, if you have Polis, is only 4%. Just make sure that your listeners are aware of that. That's extremely low in that space. I've seen percentages of anywhere from 6% to 15% with gift cards, and you probably have as well. But with the Polis, if you use Polis, there is going to be no charge. If you use other cryptos, it's going to be 4%, which I believe our rate's really good. So what we're trying to do is attract as many users as possible and have a complete one-stop shop project. And we're really, really excited about it. If you have any questions, come on Discord. There's a support channel. We're here to support you and help you in any which way. And we want new adopters, whether it's merchants or consumers, anything that you have. And if you have any merchants out there that want to get into the crypto space, please let me know. And that's it. And, let's have a great, safe holiday. And thanks for having us on the call. Appreciate it.
All right. So one of the things that I'd like to add to this is what I really love about the Polis community is that it's a very, I'd say, open community that reaches out to other communities, not just like a Polis community, but like all sorts of other communities. We all have the same sort of thing at mind. We really like digital currencies and the integration, adoption of all of this to grow the whole, I'd say, sphere of influence of the crypto space. And 2021 is going to be a pivotal year. I just already know, if you look at the economic things that are going on everywhere, this is going to be a no-brainer. We see so many people waking up to whatever is all going. So we want to be ready for this. We will be ready for these. We have a very low point of entry. and are very welcoming to anybody that is looking for this exciting opportunity. So indeed, like Frank said, stay safe all there. Happy holidays already, be it probably a little limited this year, but we're going to make the best out of 2021. And thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, thanks. My pleasure as well. And you're right, with the economy at the moment, I think projects like Polis and others obviously will certainly onboard more people, especially in 2021, as you mentioned. I mean, it's hard to imagine what that's going to be like, but I'm assuming there'll be some significant changes in the economy and so on. So yes, I would like to thank you both for coming on the show today, talking about Polis, about the projects. I think good things are coming up. So thanks a lot for bringing the business and the technical feedback about that. So that concludes the video for today. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.